Acura dares to drive beyond standard. A torque-vectoring super-handling all-wheel drive system, standard in the Acura RDX. Panoramic moonroof and premium 3-row seating, standard in the Acura MDX. Sound that surrounds you, an 18-speaker Bang & Olufsen premium sound system comes standard in the all-electric ZDX, the Acura RDX, ZDX, and MDX, where precision meets craftsmanship. Visit Acura.com to learn more.
British Spy Stories. Hi, this is MF Kelleher. This episode is the finale of Season 4, Double Agent. Next week, we start Season 5, Kill or Be Killed. Stick around at the end of the episode to hear a preview of Season 5, Kill or Be Killed, on the British Spy Stories podcast. Season 4, Double Agent. Episode 32, the finale. Kate sees Gabby fall and guides her snowmobile down the hillside to where she is lying. Gabby tries to move but winces with pain. Kate helps her sit up and leans her up against her snowmobile. "We haven't got time to sit here," says Gabby. "You can't ride with a shoulder injury." "I'm not stopping." "For God's sake, Gabby," says Kate. "Jenny and I can do it. You don't have to do every fucking thing yourself." Kate pulls off a dark green army scarf she's wearing and wraps it around Gabby's shoulders. "Now, don't bloody move." She mounts her snowmobile and spins away across the snow to Laravel. Gabby tries to stand. Her left arm is useless due to the pain throbbing through the muscle. She sits on the snowmobile and cries out. After a minute of sitting there using her good arm to take some of the weight, she tries to start the engine, but it doesn't engage. She slumps forward in the seat, then sits back down on the ground. In the headsets, Hans comes online in the Volvo, and Kate directs him to go and help Gabby. The second Toyota is only 20 yards behind Luke by the time Kate and Laravel have cut up across country to reach the roadway again. Kate rides out into the road this time, directly behind the Toyota. She accelerates and gets to within a few feet of the rear bumper. Another slight burst of her engine, and she is close enough. She stands momentarily, then lunges for the back of the SUV. Her fingers reach the rear windscreen wiper first, and she gets a grip. The blade hinges away from the glass, and her feet drag along the road. Kate swings one leg up and onto the bumper. She grabs for a better handhold. For a second she is hanging on one hand as the Toyota travels at 60 miles an hour along the frozen road. She rolls her body and manages to get fingers to a side stanchion. She climbs up and crawls along the roof. The wind pushes her back with each movement, tugging at her strength. The Toyota reaches a sharp corner and she rolls to one side, again taking her body weight onto her arms and the pain cutting through her skeleton. She positions her leg above a side rear window, then brings her boot down against the glass. It doesn't break, and she swings in again. This time it does shatter, and Kate kicks more of it away until the hole is big enough to get her leg inside. She pulls out her Beretta from her underarm holster. Holding her weight with one hand, she fires off 3 rounds into the car. The driver is hit, but the passenger takes evasive action. He pulls out his Grash handgun and tries to fire back, but can't get an accurate aim. The Toyota veers across the carriageway, with the driver now injured and laying across the wheel. Kate fires again, and the man in the passenger seat falls away to one side. She pulls her leg out of the window and leaps off the car into the snow. The Toyota powers on down the road, the momentum pushing it faster with each second. Luke's BMW is only 20 feet in front of it, and the Toyota hits it hard. The cars lock together and hurtle down the road. They are only stopped when they both ram into a wall of a house at the next corner. There is the sudden loud sound of crumpling bodywork as they push against the stone building. Then, silence. On the road that leads to the ski lodge, Amandine guides the hire car off the highway and onto the drive. She is tired after the long journey from Zurich. She has made this journey many times with Vincent, but never on her own before. She is looking forward to seeing Oscar, and maybe they can plan a life together. The tyres of the car roll along the driveway, and she pushes the pedal to park the car up near the house. The tripwire hangs in the darkness, unseen. Hans is wrapping Gabby's shoulder when they both hear a thundering explosion rolling in from the hillside behind them. They both look up, then look at each other, but say nothing. Laravel arrives next to Kate on her snowmobile as the car wreckage down the road steams in the night. Kate looks at her and only says, "Go and see how he is." Laravel bounces across the snow on her machine and stops near the cars. She walks around the twisted metal. The front of the BMW has been demolished, but the driver's seat is still inside its safety frame, surrounded by airbags. There's no door left intact. She kneels down next to Luke. "Hey," she whispers. He opens his eyes, but the whites are now blood red. "We'll get you out." He smiles gently. He looks at her and says something, but she can't hear him. Laravel puts her ear next to his mouth. "What's your real name?" "I can't tell you." Her eyes are watery. He blinks slowly and starts to say something else, and she leans in again. "I love you, whatever your name is." She smiles through the tears. He grits his teeth as the pain surges through his body. Then his eyes close, and his breaths stop. "It's Jenny," she says. "It's Jenny." But Luke can't hear her anymore. The sun is shining on Schiff-Bauerdamstrasse in central Berlin. The water in the River Spree glistens as it rushes past the Met Bar, where Agent Hans has a cover life as the barman. He hobbles up and down on his plastic boot behind the bar, getting drinks for his 3 guests. The place has been closed all day to allow them to meet and debrief. Gabby has beer, Kate has whiskey, and Laravel has a porn star martini. They sit around the table by the window that they always use when they have these gatherings. They talk about Operation Barwood and what they would have done differently. A dark blue Range Rover pulls up on the road outside the bar, followed by a Jaguar Sentinel. A man in a dark suit gets out of the leading car, checks the street in either direction, then opens the rear door of the Jaguar, and Sir Bernard steps out. "This is a surprise, sir," says Gabby, opening the door as he approaches. "I was meeting the German security service today, so I thought I'd drop by." He sits and looks uncomfortable in the chairs used in the bar, and declines an offer of a drink. "I wanted to talk to all of you," he begins. "Some sad news. Agent Thornwood, my Lorenz, is dead." Hans and Kate look surprised. "She died from a fall in Zurich airport. Unfortunately, she got involved with a brawl of some sort, with a woman who is well known to Interpol." He puts his hand inside his jacket and produces a folded sheet of paper, which he unfolds and holds up for them to see. "The woman's name is Rosalind Frossard. She calls herself Rose. She is the last surviving member of the Frossard dynasty. They were a very powerful family in France, but over the last decade they have lost multiple heirs to the family fortune in a series of accidents, leaving Rosalind as the only survivor. She is due to inherit the entire estate on her 40th birthday, which is in 2 years' time. She chose to spend her privileged life involved with multiple crimes, but she has never been caught. "Sir," says Hans, "why would this woman want to kill my Lorenz?" "Frossard is an assassin, amongst other things. She worked for a man you all know, Oscar Zetkin. She ran his London operation, bribing politicians and civil servants to get state secrets. Meyer must have got in her way, somehow, and Frossard is a dangerous woman." The others are all listening intently. "Research branch has been trawling the files for other crimes she may have committed. There was a grainy CCTV image of a woman coming out of Vincent Fevrier's hotel room on the night he died. They enhanced the image, and they're 95% certain that it was Rose Frossard. She was there 10 minutes before my Lorenz arrived." "Do we know where she is, sir?" says Laravel. Sir Bernard shakes his head. "She's still out there. We'll have to mount an operation in the future to close the net around her. The rumours are that she and the old Leo Has gang members have joined forces. If that's true, they now control over a third of all drug trafficking and 10% of all arms smuggling across Europe." "Can I ask, sir," says Hans, "Vincent Fevrier, was he a German spy as well as a politician?" Sir Bernard looks at Gabby for a second. "Now that she is dead, I managed to get approval to brief this group on Fevrier," he says. "He was a German spy." Hans looks pleased. "But he also worked for us." Kate, Laravel and Hans look shocked. "He was Agent Foxfold, a double agent for us and Germany. He fed us with information about German armaments and defence." "And Meyer was his handler?" says Kate. Sir Bernard nods. "But she got too close to him, and it looks like she paid the price." There's a pause. "Well, I won't keep you," says Sir Bernard. He stands up and moves towards the door, and Gabby walks with him. "Have a few days off, Gabrielle, and rest that shoulder. Then report to me in London next week. There's a new operation bubbling up that I need you for." "Yes, sir." He waves to everyone and is escorted back to the Jaguar, which accelerates away into the fading light. Kate helps Hans to get more drinks from the bar, and Gabby sits down next to Laravel. "It was tough on you this time, Jenny. Especially the Luke thing. I understand why most spies are single now. People get killed, or you meet someone and spend a lifetime lying to them about what you do. Everyone dies, Jenny, and everyone lies. Our life isn't so different." Hans and Kate return with more drinks. "A toast," says Gabby. "To Luke." The others look at Laravel and raise their glasses. To Luke. Gabby Lane, Agent Blackhawk, will return in Kill or Be Killed. Here's a preview. The sun moves out from behind the clouds, and its intensity dazzles Gabby Lane for a second, before the Gulfstream G700 climbs to 42,000 feet and turns further south, on its journey to Palermo. From the cabin window, she can see the hazy coast of France stretching out into the distance, and silver aircraft peppering the horizon. Her eyes flick to Kate, Agent Coniston, as she passes by. The woman's blonde hair is tied back, and she carries 2 gin and tonics on a tray. Kate is dressed in the pale blue uniform of the private charter company Air Nouveau that MI6 stole last week from a warehouse just outside Cannes. She makes the briefest smile to Gabby to indicate that the plan is on track. There are only 3 other passengers in the aircraft, all important men in the people smuggling and prostitution networks across Europe. Gabby thinks back over the last 4 months in deep cover, as she has built up the trust of these men. Her cover identity has been Erika Müller, one that she used 2 years ago to trap and turn a key gang leader in Belgrade. As Erika, she is planning to open a string of brothels in Frankfurt, Brussels and Paris, and ship young women in from Russia and the Balkans. That makes her a key client for the men in this Gulf Stream, and the reason that she's on this aircraft at all, at their invitation. The trip to Palermo had been suggested by Antoine Lambert, a French national, and the one man of the 3 who MI6 research branch rate as extremely dangerous. He is the wealthiest of all of these men too, and, if this operation had been planned differently, she would be sleeping with Lambert tonight when they reach their destination. But that's not the plan. She pushes her dark hair away from her brown eyes as Kate returns down the aisle and leans across in the pretense of taking a drinks order. "Are we ready?" says Gabby, and Kate nods. "The 60 seconds countdown starts." She raises her wrist and holds a finger over the stopwatch alarm